Sitting tall, sitting straight, adjust yourself so that more and more the front spine feels length, feeling a good lift, a good ascendance. And in the ascendance, make the flow smooth, as if you were sipping through a straw up the torso. And exhaling down the back body, trapezius muscles moving down the back. Wherever you feel that that smoothness is obstructed, gently adjust. Open the chest, open the side ribs. And now bending the elbows, press the palms together in front of the sternum. Don't drop the sternum at all. Keep the front shoulders rolled back, the clavicles long. The back armpit moving to the front armpit. And the back body pressing forward to push the sternum gently open to the thumbs. The sides of the neck even, relax completely the face. Allow the eyelids to melt down towards the cheeks, the pupils of the eyes soft. A slow, soft, smooth inhalation and a slow, soft, smooth exhalation. Keeping the sternum lifted, gently drop the chin down towards the chest. And with this gesture, surrender the brain to the heart, before gently lifting the head back up and releasing the hands down to the thighs. And so we're ready to begin. So moving your block or your blanket out of the way and coming to stand on your mat facing the short edge of the mat, the feet are the width of the mat and parallel. If anything, the toes are turning in slightly. Tuck the tailbone down, lengthen the front spine as you lift the arms up, bend the elbows. Reach up, stretch the armpits, and exhale and come forward to Hanging Uttanasana. Keep lifting the inner ankles, lifting the inner knees up to the inner groins, sucking the kneecaps up, the thigh muscles up, the roots of the thighs firmly into the hip. Feel the straightness of the legs more and more. Squeeze the four corners of the knees. Make your fingertips alert. Pull with your fingertips to stretch the sides of the waist, to stretch the trunk, to bring the elbows lower and lower to the ground. And now placing the hands on the mat, step back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, keeping the knees bent, and go with the idea of arching the lower back, lifting the lower buttock bones, and then stretching the legs straight, so the spine has a full extension. And now lift the heels up to the sky and re-lift the buttock bones, press them up, press the shoulder blades in, open the chest, stretch the armpits, stretch the arms, press firmly into the roots, the heels of the hands, keep the sides of the neck even. And even though the body is increasingly becoming more and more alert and strong, the brain is becoming more and more quiet, the face more and more passive. And now coming forward again, Hanging Uttanasana, changing the cross of the arms. Make sure that your feet are completely parallel. Press evenly into all four wheels of both feet. Lift the inner ankles, lift the inner arches, lift the inner ankles of the feet, lift the inner knees to the inner groins, suck the roots of the thighs up. Push the buttock bones to the sky and pull with your fingertips to lengthen the triceps, the armpits, the waist. Press the back ribs in to open the chest. And then inhaling up and finding Tadasana. Rolling the front shoulders back. Now bringing the hands behind the back, interlocking the fingers. And try to push the front shoulder girdle back more and more, lengthening the clavicles. Keep the tailbone long, the thighs charged. Keep lifting the sternum, lifting the lower sternum to the top sternum, pressing the shoulder blades into the back. And then exhale and release. We find Tadasana, centralize, before changing sides, changing the interlock, and again beginning the work of opening the shoulders, the chest. Roll the front shoulder girdle back over and over again with each exhalation. Move the trapezius muscles down the back. Wrap the arm muscles around the arm bones. Stretch, lift the sternum. Press the shoulder blades in to lift the sternum more. And then exhale and release. We find Tadasana. Now bringing the hands behind in Paschimottanasana Namaskar. Roll the shoulders back, press the palms together evenly, elbows back, chest lifted. And now step the right leg forward and the left leg back. Parshvottanasana legs. Keep the shoulders rolled back, move the tailbone forward and lift the pubic bone. Keep rolling the front shoulders back, the trapezius muscles down the back, pressing the palms together. Keep the legs straight, the left pelvis moving to the right so the hips are facing the short edge of the mat. Keep moving the tailbone forward, lifting the pubic bone, raising the sternum chest upwards, shoulders back, stabilizing through the back leg. Slowly begin to take the head back by elongating the cervical spine. Keep elongating the neck, moving the tailbone forward, stretching more and more the front body, shoulders rolled back, open the sternum chest. Head back, keep lengthening the cervical spine. Jaw soft, face relaxed, find that steadiness in the legs. All of the weight needs to be moving into the back leg. And then stepping forward to Tadasana and changing legs. The right leg moves back, the left leg is now forward. Preparation Parshvottanasana. Roll the back thigh in, press into the back heel. Draw the front knee, the front quadricep muscle up the leg. Feel the firmness of the legs, the right pelvis moving to the left, facing more and more the short edge of the mat. Begin to move the tailbone forward and to lift the pubic bone. Over and over again, lifting the pubic bone, bringing that length to the front spine. Roll the front shoulders back, elbows pressed back, palms pressed together. Trapezius muscles down the back. Feel the opening of the front chest by pressing the palms into the upper back, into the dorsal spine. And now begin to bring the head back slowly, gently, keeping the cervical long, creating an inner circuit of energy, an inner loop as you move the tailbone forward, lift the pubic bone, re-lengthen the cervical, bring the head back more, finding that balance. All of the weight of the body is in the back leg, pressing into the back heel. And then releasing, stepping forward. Find a wall and stand in Tadasana against the wall. Inner feet touching, inner knees touching. Move again the tailbone forward so the lumbar doesn't have too much arch. And roll the front shoulder girdle back, lengthening the clavicles. Try to press the elbows against the wall behind you. And with that action, firm the heels of the hands, the fingertips, press them into the back ribs. And then exhale and release. Still using the wall now, we're going to come to a standing Parigasana. Bring your right hand to the wall, stretch your left arm up and find the wall. The right hand should be a little bit further forward than the left so that you can mimic the action required of the scapula. So the bottom shoulder blade is moving forward and the top shoulder blade is moving back, stretching the left plank. And then coming out, changing sides, standing Parigasana with the left side of the body close to the wall, arms length away. Bring the left hand to the wall, stretch the right arm up, find the wall. Press into your feet, keep the legs charged, the tailbone moving forward, and find the action of the scapula, the left shoulder blade moving forward, and the top shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade moving back. Feel the right flank stretching, and then exhaling and releasing. And now coming down onto the mat, taking a block, we're going to come to some twists. So placing the block like this, about arm's distance away from the wall, and sitting on the block in the twist is going to bring more length to the front spine, more spaciousness, more freedom. And now go ahead and keep the right knee bent and extend the left leg out to the side, moving the buttock bones out to the side. I'm doing the mirror image of you. Now turning and twisting to the right, stretch the left arm up, and then exhale across and find with the tricep the outside edge of your right thigh. Roll the front shoulders back again, keep the collarbones long. The left leg is alert, the left heel is pressing down. Use each inhalation to lengthen up the front spine and each exhalation to move the trapezius muscles down the back, creating an inner loop. The left eye is following the right eye to help with the rotation. Keep rolling the left abdomen to the right, lifting the chest. And then exhale and release and changing sides. So the left knee is bent now, the right leg is extended. And turning and twisting to your left, lift the right arm up to stretch the right waist. And bending the elbow, turn and twist. Tricep rubbing against the outside edge of that left thigh. And make sure that the thigh is pressing back against the arm, so there's a conversation going on between the arm and the leg. Keep the front shoulders rolled back, the collarbones long. The right eye is following the left eye. Keep the right heel alert, the root of the right thigh pressing down. And stretch more and more the front spine, lifting the sternum, pressing the back ribs in to open the sternum, the chest. And then gently exhale and release. And now coming up to standing, you can move the equipment. We're going to come to a Padahastasana. So widen the feet the width of the mat. Place the hands now underneath your feet. Draw the kneecaps and the thigh muscles up the thigh bones, strongly pulling the roots of the thighs into the hips, the legs straight, the backs of the knees broad, the backs of the thighs broad. And pull yourselves strongly down. If the elbows bend, bend them to the sides. You keep that broadness in the trunk. The sides of the neck long and even, the shoulders broad. And then exhaling and releasing, coming down to Vajrasana with the forehead on the floor, the arms by the side of the body. Some shoulder openers. Bring the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers together and lift the arms up to the sky and over to the floor behind you. Use each inhale to lengthen the arms, to roll the front shoulders back, and each exhale to bring the arms gently a little bit more closer to the ground over the head. Make sure you don't tense the jaw, the tongue, the face. And then exhale and release. Re-soften the face, the tongue, the throat. And now lift the arms, change the cross of the arms, and again bring the arms up and over. Relax the front thighs, relax the abdomen. Use the inhale to lift up, the exhale to come over, the inhale to lift. Keep the trapezius muscles moving down the back, the face soft, quiet. Feeling the entire shoulder area opening more and more. And then exhale and release. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And then slowly, gently rolling up, lower back, middle back, upper back, and refinding seated Vajrasana. Roll the shoulders back, centralize, neutralize. And now we're going to come to Shirshasana, headstand. So putting the blanket on the mat or folding your mat up for some extra padding. And now coming and placing the elbows right on the edge of the support you've created. Interlocking the fingers, pressing the thumbs together. Keep the shoulders broad, press down into the forearms as you bring the crown of the head to the floor. Feel the stability, the strength. Press down to lift the shoulders up and straighten the legs. Begin to walk the feet towards you until you feel more and more weight coming onto the forearms. Press the forearms down, lift the shoulders up, trapezius muscles moving down the back, lifting the legs. Feeling that no part of the back falls on the neck. Keep lifting the shoulders up as you lift the legs, pressing the forearms down, finding Shirshasana. When we first find Shirshasana, our tailbones are still a little bit pushing out. It takes a few breath cycles to start to move the tailbone forward towards the pubic bone. So keep that straightness of the legs, the charge in the knees, the sharpness of the ankles, pushing through the balls of the feet, spreading the toes, that alertness, that feeling of ascendance. And begin to work slowly, gently, the feeling of the tailbones and the buttocks moving forward and the front thighs moving back. Keep pressing down to lift up, keep the upper arms lifted, the elbows forward, not moving to the side. And avoid bringing the face forward. Observe the lower jaw, see that you're not jutting the chin forward. Repacify the tongue, the face, the eyes going back, and the tip of the nose facing the ceiling. Keep pressing down to lift up, see if you can make more length from the shoulders to the hips, more length on the left waist, on the right waist. The abdomen going towards the spine, not puffing out. Make sure you're on the crown of the head with the face receding backwards. And observe the neck, where you feel the neck dropping, folding, the shoulders dropping, the head becoming heavy. You have to feel that lightness from the crown of the head. Press strongly into the forearms. Lift the upper arms, the shoulders up so that that lightness comes to the inner body. The anchoring through the forearms, but the lifting up to the sky and the rest of the body, ascending upwards. Experience that, being with that, more and more ascension. Notice that the moment other thoughts come in, the body will drop, will fall. So you really have to keep the mind locked into the pose over and over again. Finding that lightness, that length, keep moving the tailbone forward to the pubic bone. Check that your knees are evenly squeezed, that your ankles are evenly sharpened, that your feet are evenly pressing and alert. And now turning and twisting to your right, twisting Shirshasana. Keep the oneness of the legs, the evenness of the knees, of the ankles. Note what's happened to the neck, to the forearm, to the shoulder area. Keep trying to find that evenness in the forearms, pressing down to ascend up, to lift the shoulders up, to lift the upper arms up so that no part of the neck is getting cramped. Keep the face soft, receding backwards. The eyes going back, looking towards the inner brain as you turn, as you twist, as you turn, as you twist. Re-lengthen up with that feeling of ascendance. And then exhale, coming back to Shirshasana, before turning and twisting now to the left. As you turn and you twist, keep the thighs rolling in towards each other, the inner knees touching, the inner feet touching. Press down into your forearms, re-find evenness. Observe where the neck has become a little askew. Is the tip of the nose still facing the ceiling? Are the back armpits still moving to the front armpits? Do you still have a feeling of length? Move again the tailbone forward, stretch the legs. And then exhale, coming back to Shirshasana. And now slowly lowering the left leg down in front and the right leg behind. The left leg, the front leg, will come down much more easily than the back leg. So at a certain point of descent, you have to stop the descent of the front leg and start to really extend out through the back leg, rolling the back thigh in, lengthening more and more, deepening. Keep drawing the roots of the thighs into the hips and keeping the abdomen close to the spine. Don't let it puff forward. Try to bring curvature to the middle back, the upper back, and to press the sternum open. Shoulders broad and the sides of the neck even, the face receding back as you express and charge out through the legs, through the feet, before bringing the legs back up and refinding Shirshasana. Find the oneness of the legs before changing sides. Slowly now lowering your right leg down in front of you and your left leg behind you. Keep the legs straight, the thighs rolling in, pushing through the balls of the feet, spreading the toes, remembering that the front leg has a tendency to lead because it can lower more easily. So at some point you have to halt the descent of the front leg and re-extend out through the back leg. So you almost feel that you might start tipping over. Press the shoulder blades in. Find that firmness. Lift the upper arms. Lift the shoulders, sides of the neck even. Keep the legs very charged. The front, the backs, the insides, the outsides, all of the leg muscles wrapping around the leg bones. Lengthen the front spine more and more. Feel that curvature coming to the middle upper back. And then bringing the legs back up and refinding Shirshasana. Centralize, neutralize. And now bending the knees and coming to Virasana in Shirshasana. Pointing the toes, kneecaps to the sky. Try to move the buttocks more and more forward, the tailbone forward, keeping the abdomen close to the lumbar, don't let it puff, and bringing the curvature to the middle upper back. Press the shoulder blades in over and over again. Roll the back armpits to the front armpits. Feel that you might actually tip over, again that sensation of the sternum moving forward, the heels coming closer to the buttocks, the toes pointing down. And then bring the legs back up, Shirshasana. Find the length, find the ascendance, restabilize, soften again the face, the tongue, the throat, and now bending again the knees, coming to our second Virasana in Shirshasana. So once again, try to point the toes down towards the floor, kneecaps up to the sky, inner knees touching, inner feet touching. Move the tailbone strongly forward, move the buttocks from the back to the front, over and over again with each exhalation as you move the front thighs back. Feel the curvature coming to the middle upper back, the side ribs broadening. Press the sternum open from the dorsal spine. Lift the shoulders. And then re-straighten the legs and refine Shirshasana. Soften the face, the throat. Find evenness in the sides of the neck. And slowly with straight legs, coming down. Holding for a second in Dandasana and Shirshasana, broadening the shoulders. And then exhaling and releasing. Sitting back on the heels. Gently stretching the arms forward, having the fingertips on the floor, the palms lifted, the eyes of the elbows rolling up to the sky. Keep walking the fingertips forward to create that length in the trunk, in the front spine, and gently pushing the buttocks back. Keep moving the trapezius muscles down the back, feeling that length in the neck, the softness, the quietness in the brain. Relax the throat, the temples, the eyes. And then inhaling back up. And releasing. So moving our equipment now, we're going to stretch open the inner arms, the heels of the hands, the inner wrists a little bit, so turning the fingers towards you and moving back away from the hands, lifting the heels of the hands up but pressing into them. Feel the spiral of the arms, so find the action of the arms from the root of the arms, from the shoulders. Feel the shoulders broaden. Keep pressing into the heels of the hands, squeezing the elbows straight. Clearing the energy from all that computer work, that driving, finding more and more length. And then exhaling and releasing and coming again to Parahastasana. So make sure the feet are parallel, place the hands underneath the feet, pull yourselves forward, keep the legs straight, the roots of the thighs firmly pulling into the hips, the back ribs pressing in. The arches of the feet are lifted and all the pressure should be on the ring finger and the little finger, not the index finger at all. Keep lifting the inner ankles to the inner knees to the inner groins. Stretch the sides of the trunk. And then exhale and release. And now from here coming to Bhuja Pidasana. So bending your knees, bring your arms through on the outside edges of the feet, hands to the floor, fingers spread. Bend the elbows, in this way making a ledge with your upper arms and hook the backs of the knees over this ledge. Really feel the hookingness, the backs of the knees firmly holding, gripping the upper arms. And then when you feel that you have some balance, see if you can lift the legs up and hook the right foot over the left foot. Then stretch the legs, stretch the trunk, press evenly into both heels of the hands, lift the anus upwards. And then exhaling and releasing. Move the hands if they needed a little adjustment, spread the fingers. And then again, press down, press the weight of the body, the backs of the knees, on the upper arms, on that ledge. Keep the elbows bent, moving the buttocks down, begin to feel the weight coming to the hands. And then see if you can lift the legs and cross the left foot over the right. And now begin to stretch the legs. Then as you stretch the legs, Stretch the trunk. Feel the skin of the upper back stretching, the muscles. Press the back ribs in, sternum forward, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale and release. And now placing your hands back in that wrist opening stretch, we're going to come to a downward dog with inverted hands. Fingertips facing towards you. Lift the buttocks to the sky. Feel the spiral of the arms, the shoulders broad. Push the front thighs back, squeeze the knees. Align the sides of the neck, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And then exhale, bring the knees to the floor and release. And find seated Vajrasana, roll the shoulders back. Inhale up the length of the front spine, exhale down the back spine. And then release. So for our next sequence of poses, we're going to use a wall. We're going to be doing handstands, coming over, using the wall for our feet, coming into back bends, Ekapada Urdhva Dhanurasana. I'm putting the blankets here as a reference point because I want to be not too close to the wall so that I can really have a nice back bend. So it's a good way to make sure you're not too far, but not too close. So having found your wall and put your equipment into place, let's start. So begin by placing your hands on the floor, the appropriate distance from the wall, really spreading your thumbs away from your index fingers. And then stretch the legs, begin to walk the feet forward, finding more and more pressure in the hands. We're going to hop first. Lift the right leg up and just begin by hopping with the left leg. See how the right leg still stays lifted? So the action comes from the bottom leg and the core. And now finally lifting up over, find the wall behind you, and begin to walk your feet slightly down, keeping the inner feet parallel, the inner knees parallel. Now begin to push your buttocks forward, just like you did in Virasana and Shirshasana. The tailbone moving forward, the buttocks moving forward. Stretch your arms, roll the eyes of the elbows forward to the wall, shoulders broad. Now press the back ribs in to open the sternum, push the sternum more and more. Keep pushing into the feet to get that push to the sternum. And then exhale, unflip, come down. And exhale and release completely. Find Vajrasana, lengthen the clavicles, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Centralize, neutralize. And now we're going to come and lift with the other leg. So placing the hands on the floor, spread the thumbs, the fingers widely apart. Find the strength of the heels of the hands, roll the eyes of the elbows forward as you straighten the legs, the shoulders broad. Begin to walk the feet slightly towards you. Lift the left leg up high now. You're going to hop with the right leg, so gently hopping first, keeping the left leg ascending so it doesn't drop. And then on that final hop, go ahead and come right over, finding the wall behind you. You'll feel a little more confident now. The chest is nicely open from all the work we've done preparing. Keep the knees parallel. Don't allow them to move open. Inner knees coming towards each other. Press into the feet. See if you can move the feet down a little more, what's comfortable. Press the tailbone up to the pubic bone. Stretch your arms straight, shoulders broad. Now let the front face recede backwards more and more, having that back bend face, that back bend neck. Cervical spine long, chest open. And then exhale, push yourselves down and come back to Vajrasana. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale up the length of the front spine. And exhale down the back body. Relax, breathe. And now again, placing the hands on the floor. Really stretch the thumbs, the fingers even more apart. Stretch your elbows, your arms. Roll the eyes of the elbows forward. Lift the right leg up high, charging the leg. Hopping with the left leg. And this time coming all the way straight into it. Finding the wall with your feet. Walking the feet a little bit down, pushing the buttocks forward. And now bring your left foot down to the blankets or to the floor. The right foot is still on the wall. The right knee is bent. And now you're going to move the right foot away from the wall and stretch the right leg straight to the sky. Find Ekapada Urdhva Dhanurasana. Keep stretching the right leg straight, drawing it closer towards you. Press the shoulder blades in, the dorsal spine forward, open the chest. And now bring the foot back to the wall and unfold back down to the ground. And re-find Vajrasana. Palms facing open, find that quietness. Even out the sides of the neck and pacify the jaw, the tongue. And now coming to our last one, placing the hands on the floor, widening the fingers, the thumbs, broadening the shoulders, begin to walk the feet towards you. Lift your left leg up nice and high now with that charge, and hopping with the right leg, and lifting up and over, finding the wall. Begin to walk the feet slightly down as you push the buttocks, the back thighs forward. And now bring your right foot down to the floor or the blankets. Your left knee is bent, your left foot is on the wall. Now, pressing the back ribs in, the sternum opening, bring your left foot off the wall and begin to straighten that left leg, finding Ekapada Urdhva Dhanurasana. Let the front face recede backwards, the shoulders broad, the dorsal spine, the shoulder blades pressing in as you charge the left leg up, pushing through the ball of the foot. And then exhale, foot to the wall, and back down to Vajrasana. Elbows back, front shoulders back. Release the effort, relax the brow. And ready to move on now into Yoga Mudrasana Gomukhasana 3. So crossing the left knee behind the right and sitting on the floor between your feet. And having placed yourselves, pull the front ribs up to lengthen the front waist. And exhale the arms forward to Yoga Mudrasana, hooking the bottom of the chin on the top of that knee. Keep just the fingertips on the floor, the palms lifting up. Stretch the arms and roll the eyes of the elbows up to the sky, keeping the shoulders broad, the trapezius muscles moving down the back. And send each exhalation into the hips, into the groins. Feel the broadness coming. Relax the abdomen, relax the front thighs. Relax the inner groins. And now turning and twisting to your right, Parivrita, Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3. Stretching the left arm to keep that length, bending the right arm to help you to twist, to roll the left abdomen to the right. Keeping the buttocks moving back, grounded to the floor. And then gently coming up, we'll do the left side on the other leg. So uncrossing the legs. Cross now your right knee behind your left. Widen the feet apart and come and sit down on the floor between the feet. And then taking hold of your bottom ribs, lift them up to stretch the front waist, to bring that awareness there, and then walking the fingertips forward, finding Yoga Mudrasana. Relax the face, soften the jaw. Keep stretching the arms, walking the fingertips forward over and over again to bring that length to the side of the waists, and pushing the buttocks gently back, feeling the broadness, relaxing the thighs, the groins, the abdomen, having the sides of the neck even. And now turning and twisting to your left, stretching the right arm to the left elbow can bend to help push into the floor to turn and twist the right abdomen to the left. Trapezius muscles down the back, buttocks grounded to the earth as you turn, as you twist, as you stretch forward. And then inhaling back up and uncrossing the legs. And coming to sit in Upavishta Konasana on your mats. So having the legs wide apart, the kneecaps facing the sky, pull the buttock bones back and out to the side so you're really sitting on the inner sit bones. And now begin to come forward to Yoga Mudrasana in Upavishta Konasana, stretching the arms forward, stretching the waist, stretching the trunk. Keep the heels alert, the thigh muscles wrapped around the thigh bones, the roots of the thighs pressing down, and make sure your pubic bone is not dropping forward. Keep drawing the pubic bone up so that it's perpendicular to the floor. And now coming back up, fingertips on the floor behind you, Dandasana, roll the shoulders back, chest open, and turning and twisting now to your right, reach with your left hand for the outside edge of the right foot, Parshva Upavishta Konasana, turning and twisting, rolling the left abdomen to the right, still keeping that length, keep the heels pressing down, the roots of the thighs down, and then coming back up and turning and twisting to your left, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, head back, cervical long, and exhale and reach with your right hand for the outside edge of the left foot, turning and twisting to the left, the right abdomen rolling to the left. Keep the sides of the neck even, the face soft as you twist and turn and stretch forward, trapezius muscles moving down the back ribs pressing in, the heels pressing to the floor. And then inhaling back up, and now coming to Parivrita Upavishta Konasana, so stretching the right arm down the inside edge of that right leg, reach with your left hand for the outside edge of the right foot. Keep rolling, turning and twisting, the bottom shoulder blade moving forward, the top shoulder blade moving back. Pressing the back ribs in to open the chest, keep the legs very firm, the roots of the thighs firm. Rolling the bottom abdomen to the top. And then inhaling up to change sides. So now coming to the left, stretch the left arm down the inside edge of that left leg, and then reaching with the right arm for the outside edge of the left foot. Begin to find the rotation, the bottom shoulder blade moving forward, the top shoulder blade moving back. Keep rolling the bottom abdomen to the top, the bottom lung to the top. Press the roots of the thighs down, the heels alert, the feet alert, and moving the trapezius muscles down the back so the neck has a feeling of growing from the trunk. Keep the face soft. And then inhaling up. And coming now to some Padmasana work. So turning to face the short edge of your mat, bring your right leg into Padmasana. If Padmasana is not available, then just have the left leg in Sukhasana underneath the right knee. Otherwise, bringing both feet into Padmasana, press the roots of the thighs down and the kneecaps facing forward. And begin to come down. Make sure your buttocks are moving towards your knees as you lay down on the floor in Supta Padmasana. Stretching the arms straight on the floor behind you. The thumbs are crossed for better traction. In this way you can really pull with the arms to stretch the waist, to stretch the front spine. Flex the feet so the fronts of the feet are pressing the roots of the thighs down. The anus is moving towards the knees. The tailbone is moving up to the pubic bone, and the pubic bone is lifting up to the sternum. So it's not dropping in any way. It keeps lifting, lengthening more and more the anterior body. Feel broadness on the left ribs, the right ribs, trapezius muscles moving down the back. And now bring the knees towards you and wrap your arms around your legs, holding onto your fingers, your hands. Roll the shoulders back so the collarbones are long, and slightly press the shoulder blades in to open the chest. Feel the outer hips gently broadening, releasing. Use the exhalation to create that softness. And now exhale and release, coming up. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and then undo yourselves from Padmasana on the right side, and we're going to come to the left-hand side. So bringing the left leg right up to the root of the thigh, and then bringing the right leg up, or crossing and bringing the right foot underneath the left knee. Kneecaps facing forward, roots of the thighs pressing down. Begin your descent, coming to the forearms first, and taking the time to lift the buttocks and move the buttocks towards the knees, creating length in the front abdomen, length in the lumbar, before settling down, crossing the thumbs and re-stretching the arms back, Supta Padmasana on the left-hand side. Really stretch the arms and stretch the fingers, so that always you feel the arms are lengthening, feel the skin of the armpits stretching and tearing, the skin fibers on the sides of the waist stretching and tearing. Press the fronts of the feet into the roots of the thighs, so the roots of the thighs are moving towards the knees, towards the floor. Tailbone up to the pubic bone, and pubic bone drawn up the front body, lengthening the front spine with that action. Collarbones long. Now relax your chin, your jaw, your tongue, having that alertness and softness at the same time. And now releasing the arms, bend the knees towards you, wrap your arms around your knees, giving yourselves a Padmasana hug. Lengthen your collarbones, front shoulder girdles rolling back, shoulder blades pressing in. Evenness in the sides of the neck. Draw the ears in towards each other, creating softness in the brain. Before gently pushing yourselves back up and releasing Padmasana. So that Supta Padmasana gives a fantastic stretch to the front abdomen, the front spine. And we're now going to be taking our blankets and coming to Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. So I like to use 4 blankets because it really gives a feeling of ascent, but 3 is enough if you have only 3. And then you're also going to take a strap, and this is going to be to hold our arms in, so we're really opening the shoulders and doing shoulder stand, not neck stand. So the loop of the strap wants to be just the width of the shoulders, no wider. And then go ahead and lie down so your shoulders are right on the edges of your blanket, right on the edge of that little cliff, the neck going down the cliff. Move the trapezius muscles down, using the edge to hook the trapezius muscles, and make sure you're lying right on the back of the skull. Now make sure that your strap is handy, so that once you're up with your feet over, you're not wondering where it is. And then putting the fingertips on the floor, begin to push and lift and bring the legs over to the floor behind you. You can have the knees bent, doesn't matter. We're going to put the strap on the arms. So find your loop and thread your arms through the loop so that the loop comes right above the elbows. Interlock your fingers together, and with that, roll the shoulders back so you really feel a new openness in the shoulders. Feel how the strap is helping the shoulders to stay broad, the arms to stay parallel. Even out the sides of the neck. And now bending the elbows, place the hands on the back and begin to lift the legs and find Sarvangasana. As the legs lift, see if the hands can move lower and lower towards the floor, higher and higher up the back. And keep the hands alert, the index finger and the thumb alert, helping to bring sensation to the upper back, to the back ribs, so that the back body learns to press in. Same as Shirshasana, when we first come to Sarvangasana, there'll be a few breath cycles in order to move the tailbone forward and the front thighs back. So keep trying to move the buttocks, the tailbone forward, and press the roots of the thighs, the front of the thighs back away from you, stretching the legs, squeezing the knees evenly, sharpening the ankles evenly, and pushing up through the balls of the feet, finding that sense of inner ascendance. Notice where you feel heaviness, where you feel a sensation of gravity, and lift up against that, so that lightness, more and more lightness is coming to the pose. Keep rolling the shoulders back, trapezius muscles moving away from the ears. Make sure you're not pressing too much on the back of the skull, that the throat is still soft, that the tongue is still passive. Stretch the legs more and more lightness, re-lifting, the back shoulder blades pressing in, the chest open. Try to move the sternum towards the chin rather than press the chin forward to the sternum. From the armpit to the outer hips, make more and more length. Draw the outer thighs in towards each other to make the legs more compact. Make sure the thighs are very gently rolling in towards each other, the front groins moving to the back groins. So the buttock bones are not one mass, they're slightly separate, and between that the tailbone can move more strongly forward to the pubic bone. Check that the ankles are still sharp, that the inner ankles are still touching, that the balls of the feet are alert, the toes spread. Watch for any droppingness. Watch what's happening in the armpits. Are the back armpits still moving to the front armpits? Are the upper arms still spiraling open from the roots of the arms, from the shoulders? And now coming to Ikapada Sarvangasana, left leg staying where it is and slowly lowering the right leg to the floor behind you. Recharge your left leg now. Roll the left thigh in. Move the hands further down the back. Press the back ribs in. Both of the legs are strong. The knees are straight. The quadricep muscles are moving to the bones. Roll the shoulders back and feel the evenness in the sides of the neck, a coolness in the brain as you draw the eyes backwards. And now lifting the right leg up and slowly begin to lower the left leg down to the floor behind you, Ikapada Sarvangasana. Finding your maximum opening and then recharging the right leg, rolling that right thigh in, squeezing the knee, pressing up through the foot, finding that length. Press the back body in, trapezius muscles away from the ears, both of the quadricep muscles moving to the bone. So the backs of the legs are broad, the backs of the knees are broad, the ankles are sharp. And then begin to lift the left leg up and refine Sarvangasana. Take a moment to adjust again, the tailbone forward, the buttocks forward, the front thighs back. Press down into the arms in order to lift up, to find that lightness, that lengthening, that ascendance. And then slowly, gently, keeping the legs straight, begin to lower both of your feet to the floor behind you. Keep pushing the quadricep muscles to the bones, the knees straight, until the feet come to the floor, finding in this way Halasana. And now you can take the strap off the arms and interlock your fingers and roll the left shoulder back, the right shoulder back, tuck the shoulder blades in. Feel the spiral, the length of the arms, the shoulder girdle moving away from the ears. Press into the feet, straighten the legs, push the shins to the calves, the front thighs to the back thighs, lift the buttock bones. Try to make more and more length from your armpits to the outer hips. How can you create more length on the left waist, on the right waist? Relax again the face, relax the jaw, pacify the tongue, the temples. Allow the outer corners of the eyes to flow down towards the temples. Keep the front throat soft, so none of the tension is coming from the neck or the head. Keep pressing the arms down in order to lift up, finding that ascension. Over and over again, rolling the shoulders back, clearing the groin of the neck energy, charging the legs, not allowing them to move with gravity, pushing the front legs up to the sky. And now bend your knees to your forehead and change the interlock of the fingers. And then bring the knees towards the ears and finding Karnapidasana. So if possible, rest on the tops of your feet. Keep rolling the shoulders back and stretching the arms. And now turn the palms up to the sky and open to the wall. The fingers are still interlocked. You're stretching, you're pushing through the heels of the hands. Relax completely the face and draw the front thighs up into the hips, creating depth in the front groin. And now go ahead and release the knees a little bit and change the interlock of your fingers. And again, bring your knees towards your ears, Karnapidasana. And turn the palms up to the sky and open to the wall behind you, spiraling the arms from the root of the shoulders. Drawing the knees gently towards the hips, the front thighs into the hip sockets. Relax completely the face, the jaw. Draw the ears in towards each other. The eyes resting in the eye sockets and turning inward towards the back brain. And now stretching your legs straight again. You're going to make a nice wide V with your legs. Supta Kanasana in Sarvangasana. Reach with your hands, and the toes should rest in the palms of the hands, the fingers holding the toes. Now charge your legs so that there's no sense of dropping down, no sense of moving into gravity, but always the sense of inner ascendance. Keep pushing the knees, the front thighs, the shins into the back thighs up to the sky, lifting the buttock bones higher and higher to the sky, feeling that length coming to the left waist, the right waist, trapezius muscles flowing down the back away from the ears. And now exhale and release. Walk the feet in towards each other, releasing the hands. Press the hands on the upper back, straightening the legs, and lift up to Sarvangasana. Move the tailbone forward, the front thighs back. And now bending the knees, finding a Virasana in Sarvangasana. From here we're going to come to Setu Bandha Sarvangasana with the legs bent. So flipping over, notice how the fingertips should be pointing towards the buttocks. Now move your hands down so they're right on the back hips, so you can feel whether the muscle in that area is working or just moving down with gravity. Push the back buttocks up to the sky, push the tailbone up to the sky, lift your toes off the floor, and lift your lower shins up to your kneecaps. Lifting the back thighs up to the front thighs, keeping the knees parallel, front shoulders rolled strongly back. Press the arms down and find the curvature in the middle back, the upper back, to lift and open the sternum. And now Ekapada. Bend the right knee towards you, and now stretch the right leg straight, finding that chargingness. Squeeze the knees, sharpen the ankles. Feel underneath your hands whether the buttocks are still working to push up to the sky, more and more strength in the back body. And then bending the right leg, releasing, finding now the left leg, bend the left knee towards you, and then straighten the left leg to the sky, Ekapada, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana on the left-hand side. Keep pressing the back body up, making more and more curvature in the middle back, the upper back, using your hands to push the buttocks towards the knees, to lengthen the lumbar. Shoulders back, chest open. And then exhale, bring the foot down to the floor, and slowly, gently unroll, coming back down onto your blankets and moving back so your shoulders are now on the floor and your back and your buttocks are on the blanket. Have the inner knees touching. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Re-relax the face, the throat, the tongue. Feel the back ribs gently being pressed in by the blankets, opening the chest, that length, that freedom. And now rolling over to the right-hand side and coming to sitting. So we can move all of our blankets out of the way to continue with our practice. The body is really open now. Everything, the hips, the shoulders, the upper back, the chest. We have that length in the front abdomen. And we're going to take all these openings into the last part of our practice. So lying down on your mat, with the arms stretched out to the side, the palms in line with the shoulders, knees are bent, and bring the feet off the floor. Re-stretch your arms, front shoulders back, and straighten the legs to the sky. Squeeze the four corners of the knees, sharpen the ankles, push through the balls of the feet. And now move the hips slightly to the left, coming down to Jatara Parivartanasana, and bring the legs down to the right, so the outside edge of that right foot lines up right with the palm of the right hand. Hold the outside edge of the foot as you turn and twist to the left. With an exhalation, find the right edge of your navel and roll it to the left. And now find the right waist and roll the right waist to the left. And now find the right lung and roll the right lung to the left. Stretch through that left arm. Press the shoulder blades in, the back ribs in. Press the quadricep muscles to the bones away from you to help create more length in the front body. As you roll, as you turn, as you twist. And then bring the legs back up. And bring the hips to the right in order to better bring the legs down to the left, finding an acute angle. The inner feet are lined up. The inner knees are lined up. Holding the outside edge of that left foot with your left hand. Turn and twist and look down the length of the right arm. Find the left side of the navel and with an exhalation roll the left skin of the navel to the right skin of the navel. Find the left waist and with an exhalation roll the left waist to the right, the left lung to the right. Lengthen your clavicles evenly. Trapezius muscles moving down the back, and move the quadricep muscles to the bone, broadening the backs of the knees and the thighs. And then bring the legs back up, bend the knees, and place the feet on the floor. Centralize, neutralize. Make sure there's evenness on the left and the right. And now bring the right knee towards you. Ekapada Supta Bhavana Muktasana with the bent left leg. And now move the hands down onto the shin and bring the right knee to the right side of the body, deepening the groin, the front groin where the leg meets the hip. Before exhaling and releasing, on the other side now. Fingers interlocked, roll the shoulders back, abdomen soft. Now move the hands down, bring the knee down towards the left, and feel the depth of the groin at the front thigh meeting the hip. Create a deeper valley with the exhalation. And then exhale and release. And now bringing both knees towards you, interlock the fingers around the fronts of the knees. Dvipada Supta Bhavana Muktasana. Keep your inner feet touching, your inner knees touching. Feel the front thigh, the way that it connects into the hip with the front groin of the hip, and deep in the valley of that groin. Shoulders back, chest open. And then exhale and release. And now coming to our last and final pose, a well-deserved Shavasana. So taking a blanket for the neck and head, extending the legs, lining the heels up with the corners of the mat so the feet have width. Make a double little height with your blanket so that the back skull is lifted and the forehead is not moving back, the chin is not protruding. Roll the shoulders back, move the buttocks down towards the heels, and stretch the arms out to the side, diagonally away from the body, so the sides of the body have space, broadness. And closing the eyes, relax completely into the ground, allowing yourselves completely to flow with gravity into the earth, as if you were actually melting. Soft, smooth inhalation, soft, passive exhalation. That process of liquefying, of dissolving, of emptying more and more. Allow the limbs to release and relax completely, the arms, the legs spiraling open, heavy on the ground, the soles of the feet and the palms of the hand porous, soft. With an exhalation, release completely the shoulders to the ground, the front shoulders naturally flowing back in their release of tension, the front throat soft. A natural state of inner openness being experienced. The entire front of the body is receding towards the ground. The entire front face is receding into the back skull. Let the spine rest completely on the earth, completely supported. With an exhalation, release and relax the buttocks completely, allowing them to be heavy. The groins relaxed. The pubic bone wide. The abdomen softer and softer, resting. And from there, feeling that liquefaction moving down the roots of the thighs, the thigh muscles completely relaxing their grip on the thigh bone. The knees soft, the shins, the calves, the ankles. All of this in a more and more state of surrender, of openness. Allowing ourselves in this way to be humble, to be innocent, and resting in the awareness of this unfoldingness. Resting as that. And now gently wiggling the fingers slightly, allowing that awareness to rise back to the surface. And when you feel ready, gently bringing the hands to the front trunk, to the abdomen. Resting, observing, a gradual ascent back to this world. And then gently rolling over to the right-hand side of the body, lying here, supporting the right-hand side of the skull with the hand. Face passive, throat soft. And then when you feel ready, gently using your hands to push yourselves back up. Slow, soft, aware movements. And then slowly, gently coming to sit on your mats, closing our practice in Sukhasana like we started. Palms turned open to the sky, shoulders rolled back. Observe the difference. And now bring the palms together in front of the chest and take a moment to thank yourself, your body, your mind for their work, for their practice, before gently releasing the hands and opening the eyes. Welcome back. I hope you feel fantastic. Namaste.